best day of the week?
It's the day that you get to listen to us talk for like about an hour. Plus or minus 10 minutes.
We finally have something actually interesting to talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we have interesting things to talk about, like, across the board today.
We actually left the house, so that's why we have good things to talk about.
I know.
And the podcast, known as Skate Date. What is Skate Date, babe?
Well, Skate Date is a podcast made by two roller skaters who met, and they roller skated together. And then they fell in love. And then they were like, let's make a podcast together. And also, let's be life partners forever and ever and ever. And they called it Skate Date.
I'm Shove.
I'm Rebel.
And together we are
Shovel.
Can you dig it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here on the Skate Date, we like to talk about things that happen in the real world and the wheel world. Because there's more to skaters than just skating around. We have opinions.
We have lots of opinions, and if you were to go on a skate date with us, these might be some of the things that we talked about with you.
But, like, if you're skating with me, definitely, like, the 5th time we skate together, then we'd start talking. Because the first time I would definitely just kind of skate a little bit ahead and be really socially awkward. And at the end, I'd be like, okay, cool, bye, and I'd leave. And he'd be like, does Shove hate me? Does she like me? You wouldn't know. And I'd be anxiety-ridden, being like, they definitely hate me. But then we'd skate again, and then maybe I'd say one sentence.
Oh my gosh.
Then, if you go on a skate date with Rebel, she will definitely follow you the whole time, even to your car, and just talk and talk and talk. And you'll feel like you grew up together by the end of the skate date.
Yep.
And that's why opposites attract.
Yes. Today, we are going to talk about AAPI hate, and then we're going to talk about harassment within the skate community.
And they kind of go hand in hand also. There's definitely a crossover between the two. So even in our real world, it's going to be heavily centered in the skating side of it. Just because we did go to a skate meetup, and we're going to be talking about specific hatred against AAPI that happened at a local skate park. Mm-hmm. And so we will talk about that. So, I mean, most of y'all are skaters anyways, so I guess you won't mind a heavy skate adjacent episode.
Yes, a heavy skate focused episode. But before we jump into our ad, we had a caption contest on our Instagram. If you don't follow our Instagram is at skatedatepod, and we have fun things like caption contests.
I didn't even know it was going to happen. I just saw it one day. I was scrolling at lunch, and I was like, what's happening? And then
I'm in charge of our Instagram, so that's what happened.
And then she said, babe, we forgot about the caption contest. I was like, well, babe, that's yours, because I didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah, we were supposed to announce it last week, and I forgot. So this week, we have the winner for our caption contest. I know you can't really see it on the YouTube, but
you definitely can't see it if you're listening to the podcast.
It's a picture of me and Shove, and I said, best caption gets a shout-out on next week's episode. And it's a picture of Shove going like this. And me just looking at her.
And when she says this, because we're not on YouTube right now, babe. It's me cross-eyed, sticking my tongue out and doing the finger guns to my head, which I'm sure someone will say something about that. But it's basically me just being like, I wish I was dead, and Rebel looking up at me lovingly, like, you're my favorite person in the whole world.
Yes, and the runner-up, this is the person that I chose, and then the winner is the person that Shove chose, but I agreed with. The first one that I think, wait, oh no, where'd it go?
Oh, you can tell.
Oh no, oh there it is. Okay, the runner-up is Smash a Fishy Fishy with, babe, let's start Christmas shopping early this year.
Which is my life every year. But usually it's not like she drags me, but she definitely finishes her Christmas shopping by, like, September
or October.
Psychopath.
Which is why if I get new friends in between October and December, I'm like, oh no. What do I get them for Christmas? Anyways, okay. But the winner of the caption contest is, drumroll please, Jen McNugget.
Oh, Jen.
what did the caption say? Well, the caption says, Rebel, babe, please color my hair again.
Oh my gosh. It's too real. It's just too real. I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like every month with this woman. Babe, can you dye my hair? Babe, can you cut my hair? Babe, can you play with my hair? Babe, can you style my hair? Babe, my hair. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start doing a messed up job.
No.
Because I've been doing your hair for 3 years now.
It's been pretty great. And she's gotten better and better and better at it.
I flexed on one of our first dates. Not really dates, but like the first time we went to like a mall outing. And then it was like an in-store like black barber. Little barber shop at the Lakewood Mall. And then I paid for her to get a haircut at a barber.
It was dope.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
That was one of my first flexes.
Yeah.
Like, girl, go get your head shaved.
First of many flexes in Shev's life.
Go fix those edges. And it was funny because she's sitting there and she's like, yeah, just take it down to like a 0. And
no,
then,
I said a quarter.
Oh, yeah. And then like the black barber was like, are you sure? Are you sure? She's like, yeah, I usually like just shave the sides, like completely. She used to have a mohawk. And then he was like, the guy looked all nervous.
He was so scared.
He's all like, I've never had a little white girl just come into my chair and be like, shave my head.
And you had to be like, yeah, no, she's serious. She'll be fine. Like, she's not going to complain. It's fine.
I was like, fam, it's fine. She's not going to fight you. She's not going to Karen out on you.
Yeah, like, I'm good.
All right, so do we even have a fake ad?
Yeah, except it's not a fake ad. It's a real ad. Okay. So, I spent a couple days in the last week doing my favorite activity, aka tie-dyeing. So I finally have new Queer Girl Street Skates tie-dyed shirts up in my shop, which is cheerstothequeers.com. And there's like only 5 of each size, and they're all handmade, and they're all in different colors and designs, and I'm very proud of them, and I'm super excited about them, and so you should go get yourself one. They are only on cheerstothequeers.com. They are not on my Etsy, so that is the place to get those. And also, I have a new patch that came out, which is my like product of the month, because I've been doing a product for each month for 2021. That is my goal. And I'm almost halfway through the year and I've done it so far.
Wow.
Really amazing. So there's a patch and it says Injured Skaters Club on it. And it has a little Frankenstein like skater legs with a broken bone.
It's super cute.
It's so cute.
You would think she would have wore the tie-dye shirt she made and brought the patch to show you YouTube people, but she didn't. So you're just going to have to go check it out.
It's really late at night right now, and we got really caught up researching for the thing that we're going to talk about in the real world. So that's what happened.
Researching.
AKA diving deep into it.
Ready to jump on into the real world?
Yes, I am. Hey babe, did you know that May is AAPI History Month?
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
it
that.
It is. Yeah. And so that is coincidence to what we are talking about today, because what we were talking about is an AAPI-based crime that happened, and harassment, and
I know what you're thinking. Which one? Because there's been crimes all over the country lately, unfortunately. But we are talking about a particular incident
that happened very close to home. Yes. And was at a skate park to a roller skater. In fact, a couple incidents that happened that all involved harassment that was directed at Asian skaters. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like, do we tell them? Like, you want to summarize it?
All right, so on Saturday, we went to a meetup that had a march/rollout. Most people were on wheels. It was to stop Asian hate and also bring awareness to what was happening at the Tustin Legacy Skate Park. So I know at least probably the local skaters, and probably even not local, saw Jenna, a skater that is Korean and Puerto Rican, I believe.
I don't know.
A skater that is half Asian, half Puerto Rican. I'm not going to say that. A Asian skater named Jenna was... Trigger warning, we're going to talk about... Let me throw this out first. We are going to talk about assault, so just be prepared for that. She was assaulted at the Tustin skate park. A man ripped her shirt off, used homophobic, sexist, racist insults at her, re-broke her ankle, attacked her face, left her, like, no one protected her. Like,
and
there were
it
other
was
people
going
there.
on for 3 hours.
For 3 hours, she was laying on the ground, nude, and no one was trying to help her. And it just was proof of the misogyny that does live in the skateboard community. I would say, like, we're lucky in Long Beach that it's not that toxic here. Roller skaters are welcome for the most part, because roller skating's been pretty heavy here. But in the OC, it's just, fuck the OC, basically. Like, you're gonna find, I don't like going to OC because I know I'm gonna be followed. I know I'm going to be profiled. There's always something. It's just like a community that kind of that festers. So when I heard that it was in Tustin, it wasn't surprising that something like this would happen. Along with Kayla, who was also like being mobbed on by like freaking like 20 little boys,
13-year-olds.
Yeah, that are like, but when they're in numbers, it's terrifying. And she's like the 6'1" skater, like woman, also Asian. But of course, these are two incidents, but what, even as Kayla says, like what happened to her is just like there's little microaggressions, and it's a huge online bullying. When it comes to cyberbullying, but in person it seems like it's microaggressions and still dangerous, still scary. But with Jenna, it was a literal assault. It was terrifying. It was her first time at this event in March that she went back to the skate park since it happened. And she gave a speech. It was very inspiring. I definitely cried.
I also cried.
She recounted the events that happened to her, and about the importance of like, this is why we need to fix things and learn how to feel safe and basically not be a fucking racist. But yeah, so I got a wild hair up my ass because like I kind of knew the event was happening throughout the week, and the day of, like, I kind of didn't want to read the story, and I was just like, I saw the trigger warning, I wasn't ready yet, and I started like just kind of deep diving and looking and like becoming more aware and like remembering that like marching for Black lives and being like, you know, other cultures were there to support like mine and my Black brothers and sisters' lives, so I should be able to show up for other cultures. And at the end of the day, like, we're leaders in the skate community, and also like you shouldn't just talk about it, you should be about it. Like, people want to put hashtags up, people want to share stories and like comment like, oh, I'm so sorry it happened, but people don't show up and take action. And I felt like it was just like, I gotta do this. So I like sent it to my friends. I sent it to Rebel. She was on Skateside Chats on her YouTube. And I was just like, hey, let's go to this. And she was like, okay. And then my friend was like, yeah. And then our friend Healy, she's white, and she's married to a Filipino man. So one of her kids, the oldest one, like he's entering double digits. He's 10. And I even told her, like, maybe you should bring him. Like, he's that age where like it's gonna be good for him to learn like what's going on in the world, like how to fight against it. And she brought him, and I was really proud because he did great. He walked, he brought his bike. I think like it took him a while to realize what was happening, but we did have a talk in my car afterwards. And I think like that's what's important, is that like there were a lot of kids at the skate park. Like, it was ran wild. There were so many skateboarders at the park.
Yeah, and most of them were children.
Yeah, and like some of them were like antagonizing and trying to like come over and then taking selfies, and just was like negative energy in them gathering. I guess drama happened later, but the march was amazing. I felt like, I don't know, did you feel like there were cops there, like, as we were marching, trying to keep us, like, on the sidewalk, which is, like, when do you do that on a protest?
Why would you ever do that on a protest?
Yeah, and what were the cops saying?
They were saying, like, we can't guarantee your safety if you're not on the sidewalk. And we were like,
y'all
are crazy. Like, we do not feel safe because you're here.
I literally said, like, I'm not safe with you here. Like, I don't feel safe because you're here. And, like, Bravo kept getting between me and the cop. Like, every time the cop came next to me while I was skating, she would get in between. Which is kind of smart because, one, like, she is using, like, her whiteness as a shield for me to protect me, which is great. But, two, I'm pretty sure because she knows, like, I do antagonize police officers when I see them, especially in an event like that where, like, I can tell they look bothered. Because at the end of the day, like, the cops were supposedly there to protect us.
Supposedly, but it seemed like the cops were just there to move us along.
Yeah, you know why? Because the mayors were supposed to come and speak, but they did not. They canceled last minute. So the mayor of Tustin and the mayor of Irvine both were supposed to show up. Funny thing is, I'm not sure about one of the mayors, but the other one is, I think they're both women. One of them is a black woman, so, like, hello, like, you should know what's up. And then they canceled last minute, 10 minutes before they were supposed to be there, because of death threats. And I'm like, you don't feel safe, so you're not going to come. But let the people that you approved this event for be in danger. Like, what the hell is that?
Like, if there's no clear indication that, like, it's not a safe place to be, like, and that Asian lives don't matter to people in power. Like, no. Jesus Christ.
But it was nice to see, like, all the roller skaters and some skateboarders and people even walking, like, unified. We sat on a grass hill. We listened to people talk. We did a huge circle, like square, I should say, around a neighborhood and in the streets. We chanted. People had their signs. It was very organized. Made it back. And we unfortunately had to leave, but they had, like, bands play, and they had more speakers, and apparently, like, some more drama happened with skateboarders later, of course, unfortunately.
And, like, there were cops that were antagonizing the protesters. Yeah, I definitely agree with you with the, like, feeling, I don't know, I just always feel like posting on social media is so futile for the most part, you know, like, we all say, like, oh, we're educating and we're spreading awareness, and, like, yes, but, like, if that isn't backed by action that you're doing outside of social media, like, what are you doing? And I definitely feel that way. So it felt really good to be out in the streets, and it felt good to be supporting people in person. Like, that is definitely, we all need to be there physically for people. We need to be there physically for people.
Like, if you can't show up because it's still a pandemic, or your anxiety's taking over, or physically just you can't do it, there's other ways to give. Like, at least spread the information as much as you can. And I get it, that's all you have. Or, like, if you have money, then donate or share donations. Don't just be like, oh yeah, like, let me add a hashtag, like, in my bio.
Yeah, just, like, hashtags are not the full solution. Like, it's part of it, but it's not the full solution. And so it's really, really important to get boots on the ground and get out there. And again, agreed, as Chev was saying, like, if you're physically unable to, or you, like, have, like, things that are against you and you're unable to, find other ways. But if you can, and you're just not doing it because you're lazy, or because you're, like,
I have a party to go to.
Yeah, you're tired, or, like, you know, not like self-care stuff. Self-care is super important, but just, like, not doing it just 'cause, like, for no reason. Like, get out there. Like, support the people that need your support. There are many people that need your support.
You know what's another amazing way to show support? Is literally just to go to businesses, to Asian-owned businesses, and give them your money that way. Shop there, go to the grocer, go to the market, anywhere, and go, if you have a little Tokyo, support those businesses. If you have a Chinatown, support those. Like, there's so many Asian communities, like Long Beach has them, LA has them, like San Francisco, like so many places, and just go, because COVID has made these places lose so much business because of the racism.
Because, yeah,
where
so
people are
racist.
just like, oh no, it's COVID ridden. I've literally heard people say that, like, oh, Chinatown, like at the beginning of the pandemic, like even before we had to wear masks, I was part of an art show and it was in Chinatown. And literally people were like, oh, Chinatown, like I can't go there, like COVID. Like you're going to go to the heart of it? It's like
that is
you're
definitely
fucking racist.
not the freaking heart of it.
Like what? Like what? Like it was just like I couldn't believe it, and I was like I can't, and it was crazy because I went and it was so dead there. Other places were busy, but it was literally a ghost town. I was just like, this is so weird. Another important thing to say, like I brought this up in like a meeting before, is that we're always, like America tries its best with like African American History Month. It's always like, oh, February, African American History Month. Let's study all these people that like did great things, blah, blah. My whole damn life, like, at least I knew I had that. They talked about the same like 4 Black people. I can't tell you one Asian person that was an inventor that changed something, because guess what? No one was like, it's AAPI month.
Yeah.
Let's learn about Asian history. Anytime they're talking about inclusion and representation, they make sure they put a Black and a brown person, or at least a Black person. But like, you never, and it's always like brown pride, Black pride, but you never always feel like Asian people are always put on the back burner. No one's ever concerned about, let's make sure we have an Asian person. Like, what? Like, it's just weird. It's odd. It's like we often forget about it. And for, like, I know as a Black person, there's a huge thing where, well, all marginalized people, races to be honest, where it's like racism against each other, even though it's like, this is what the white man wants, is for us to tear each other down. But like, I saw so many people that are like, why am I going to fight for AAPI? Like, where were they for Black Lives Matter? Like, where were they? And I'm like, they were there. But you're like, yes, we all have had, like, racism happen when we go into markets and we get followed and blah, blah, blah. But that's not everyone. And that is, like, a cultural thing. It's like when you have immigrants come, like, they get sucked into the systemic racism because they just came over. And then, like, they are seeing how we're treated. And then they get those stereotypes in their head. And it's just as bad. And it happens not just in the Asian community. It happens in the Latino community as well. So I think it's like we can't just be like, oh no, they don't fight for us, or well, they're racist against us too, like, or their stereotypes aren't as bad as our stereotypes. Like, Asian people are the acceptance, and I think that's what it comes down to. As unfortunately I've seen in my Black community, is a lot of people see Asians as white people. So, like, they see them as, like, oh, they're just as bad. Like, they get the good stereotypes. Like, they're smart. And we get the bad ones. Like, we're dumb. And, like, even their bad ones aren't that bad. And I'm like, no, their stereotypes are still really racist and still hurtful. And, yeah, they might get more opportunities than we do because of some of the positive stereotypes. But that doesn't mean we should just be like, oh, they have it easier than us. So, like, they got it. They can handle their own. It's just as bad.
And, like, just because a stereotype is perceived as positive from another person doesn't necessarily mean that the people in that group always perceive it as positive. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't just be like, labeling someone as smart all the time. Like, you're still taking a quality and saying because someone belongs to a group, then they must have that quality. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's good, quote unquote, or bad, quote unquote. It's still a quality that you are assigning to someone based on their race. And, like, that is a problem.
Yeah. I just feel like it's something that's always put on the back burner, and we never, like, that concerned about. Like, we often forget that there were Japanese internment camps, and, like, there's some fucked up shit our country has done towards Asian Americans. There's a rich history. We all love their food, but then we just, like, don't think about the people of, like, who they are, you know? And it's just, like, just do better and accept them and think about it. And that's the systemic racism that all other minorities have faced, is that we don't think about them when it comes in anything. We fight for so many minorities and we forget about them. And I think it sucks. I think there is a major lacking in representation. I think now it's awesome because now we're starting to see more Asian skaters like get a platform. Celia on Wheels just got a deal with H&M, like a
Selena's on Wheels?
Selena on Wheels.
Oh. Wow,
Starts
that's
with
awesome.
a Z. Yeah, and the comment section, everyone's like, during AAPI month, y'all, during the middle of the worst Asian hype, not the worst because, hello, there's some other stuff, but like a horrible time with like hate crimes being like 170% increased. You're gonna come in this comment section of this very talented Asian skater and be like, oh, how dare you take money from them? Like, they're fast fashion. You don't know what you're doing. You're gonna tear down someone that's in college that only has these skates. She literally said, I have 3 pairs of skates because I'm a sponsored skater. I do not have money. I am in school. I am in college. Like, and I took this job. And people are like trying to tear her down instead of just all celebrating her. And I'm like, dang, like, no one can win anything around here. Anytime you see any person of color.
We all need to stop tearing down each other.
And it's always something. It's like, oh, cool, like, you hired someone black. But did you hire someone with a disability? You're ableist. Like, we never focus on the wins. We're always like, let's do a whole checklist of every single thing that's politically correct that you must have. Check each thing. And then we're so busy of making sure that we're making sure everyone's concluded that we forget to celebrate how far we've come and the little victories. And I think that's one thing I've noticed that's shifting in our society is that how is not everyone getting burnout? Specifically, hello, I'm an elder millennial, and you're going to be like, Shove sounds old as fuck right now. But specifically with Gen Z, that's me sounding old by saying, oh, the younger generation, but I'm going to say it, is how do you not have burnout from constantly reading books, constantly listening to everything and trying to be like, I have to be this perfect person that's PC 100%, no forgiveness, tear down everyone that like without forgiveness. It's like, teach them, come to them, teach them the right way, what you've learned, and accept them and know that no one's perfect and celebrate the little wins we have. You don't have to be militant. It's just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, we need to work on developing like a growth mindset, you know, like it's all about like, how can we be better today? How can we be better tomorrow? Yeah, we're not perfect. Yeah, we're gonna mess up. Yeah, the world is not fully inclusive, but every step that we take towards equality and towards equity, like, we need to celebrate those steps, because if not, yeah, we're all gonna fucking burn out.
Yep. So all I can say is if I see someone that's a minority that gets a big win with a big company, like, I don't care if you're fast fashion or you're I sell a bandana for $1 million, then I'm gonna be like, get your money, secure that bag, go you, because you have to fight twice as hard as a skinny white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes. So go you. That is a win. I don't care what the company is, as long as it's not like Chick-fil-A, because, you know. But like,
Chick-fil-A.
We were so busy being like, do you even have any black friends? Do you know anyone black? Blah, blah, blah. I want to ask, like, do you have any Asian friends? Do you know anyone Asian? Like, there's like, we're a melting pot supposedly, but like, we got to make sure that we are being open. Like, what do we have? Like, what blinders do we have that's keeping us from reaching out to certain people? What systemic racism were we taught? Because I know for a fact, like, I'll admit that my parents raised me straight up racist against Asian people, and I didn't realize till I used a very not okay word to describe a new Asian kid in school, like in 5th grade, and my parents were like shocked, and I was like, that's what you call them. And then they realized that's how racism starts. You start just saying things that aren't appropriate around your children, and your children grow up to be people like that. And it took me a really long time. It wasn't until like I worked at the casino and a majority of my coworkers were Asian, and I started like seeing them more like, oh, they're just like me. They're just different people. There's little things that are different culturally, but we're like pretty much the same people. We are the same people. And I struggled with like breaking that down and like just realizing like, wow, like I was taught this and it's like in there. And I think we gotta remember that, like, you can be a person of color and still be racist against someone. So I just want to say, like, try to be better. Share your platform with our AAPI family, and like, let's just do better and protect people.
And white people. Yes. it is your time to listen. Actually, you should have been listening this whole time. But specifically white people, I think that it is really important that we remember that the only racism that the racism that exists is not just the racism that you find out about on the internet or that you see on the news. There's a lot of racism that exists. There's a lot of racism in you. There's racism in me. It's systemic. It is deeply ingrained into the way our whole society runs. And in order to dismantle that, and especially during AAPI History Month, it's important that we take the time to really evaluate how we're contributing to the racism that exists against Asian people. Because it's there, and you contribute to it, I contribute to it, and so let's really take a moment. I mean, let's take our lives and focus on it. But let's take this moment right now specifically and really think about the things that we do and how we treat other people and how that can contribute to, all of the racism that happens. Specifically this month, let's really focus on racism that happens against Asian people.
Also, I thought I was done, but I just want to also say, getting to last summer, this time last year, we were bonded and unified and had to witness a murder of a black man, and we still have had countless since then by the police, and we all had to fight for Black Lives Matter. And yeah, our skin trended and people forgot, but we all had to fight. We fought real hard. And now we're fighting for AAPI people, and we're trying to fight hard.
Stop Asian hate.
And all I want to say is, next summer, it could be that we have to fight for you. And that's why you should be fighting for other people. Don't wait until it's your turn and then expect people to fight for you when you can't fight for other people. And that's all I have to say about that.
White people don't use that as an excuse to just be like, nobody's ever going to have to fight for me. You should always be fighting because we have all done shitty things, and our relatives and our ancestors have done shitty things for centuries and decades and so long against so many people. We will live the rest of our lives in retribution and giving back and killing ourselves to end the fucking racism, period. Okay, that's all. I had to add that.
Yes. Colonizers.
Yeah. Colonizers. Exactly. Let's talk about the real world now, which unfortunately is not any more lighthearted than this. The real world.
Harassment.
Yeah. So that was Saturday. So Saturday was when we went to the march. And then on Sunday, what we did was we went to Artemis, a.k.a. Farron's meetup in Long Beach, which, thank you, Farron, for having a meetup. The vibes before and after this specific thing were immaculate.
Yeah.
And thank you for introducing us to a place in our own neighborhood that we didn't know about.
Yeah, like 5 minutes away.
Yeah. So, long story short, I am sure that you've probably heard something about this, but if not, there is a man who has harassed Farron online for months, and this was it started like over 6 months ago.
Oh. Should we start from the beginning? Like a little short, synopsis?
Oh, you're going to give a full... Okay, sure.
All right. So, 6 months ago, we all know that this white skater that's hella problematic out here was skating around without a mask on, decided to take her happy white ass all the way to the south to the black rinks with her black friends and not wear a mask there in the middle of a pandemic. You know very much that I speak out about that, and even more than me, Miss Artemis loves to call people out for that and just says, we believe, hey, you should wear a fucking mask. We say it. Anyways, she said, how dare you as a white person go from one place during a pandemic without wearing a mask and go to a black community where it's getting hurt the most by the pandemic and then not wear a mask. And some of this problematic skater's black friends thought that was racist. Which, okay, so in the black community, you know, not all of us know what's up. There's a part of us I don't know what's wrong. It's some get out shit, man. It's like that movie, and we don't know them, we don't claim them. But anyways, it was a whole live. You can find it on Farron Sing on IGTV. But one of the skaters out in LA really had this problematic skater's back. Started coming for Farron for all this stuff, and was harassing her, making fake accounts, harassing her some more. So Farron blocked him. 6 months later.
Fast forward to Farron hosting a meetup in Long Beach. So, you know, like, we're all there, like, people are there. And then this guy who defended the white skater showed up. And we were like, what's this guy doing here? And Farron was like, hey, like, went up and introduced herself, was like, who are you, basically? Because she didn't know, like, why are you here? And he took off his mask, threw it on the ground,
and said, you know me?
Yeah, you have a lot to say on Instagram. Why don't we say, what do you have to say now that it's in real life? So basically, was provoking, harassing, showed up with his wife, his friends, and kids to harass Farron. And was skating around her and us like a shark, like fast skating in a circle, not like being all like up in her business, but then being like, I don't want to talk, I want to skate.
Rebel and I were just chilling and skating. We had already talked to Farron, we talked to a couple people. So the big thing that happened was Farron came over to us, and like the people we're standing with, like Camry was there and some other skaters, and she expressed like, hey, that's the guy that's been harassing me.
Like, I don't feel comfortable.
And we're like, is there something we could do? Like, should we talk to him? And she's like, if you want to go say something, like, that'd be cool. Like, I don't know what to do. You could tell she was very flustered, like holding it together, but something like not her energy. She's very confident. If y'all have seen her, she's my favorite person to watch. Like, give her little TED Talks and like talk about everything. Like, her lives are the best. It's like, I'll sit there for that whole hour and listen to every word. I'll laugh. Everything. She's very entertaining. She's very straightforward. Now, all of a sudden, her energy has shifted. And so we all skated over and started saying like, hey, like, what's up? Like, what are you doing here? Like, I told him to put a mask on. I said, can you put a mask on? He said, nope. And I said, put a mask on. Nope. And then he started like acting like a damn fool. He started doing like ballroom skating. He kept saying like, let's have a dance off. Like, we were in fucking Step Up.
Also, he was wearing a Skate Lives Matter shirt.
Which I fucking hate. It's Black Lives Matter, and I know you're going to say, but a black person made it. Anything that diminishes from the Black Lives Matter movement is just fucked up. Like, just keep it. Well, you don't need to do Skate Lives Matter. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he literally was sharking us. It was like, we were little fishies in the ocean, and he's skating in a circle, just yelling stuff at us and going, ha ha!
Yeah, and we were like, can you please just, like, stop so we can talk? You clearly want to talk. Like, let's talk then. And he just would not have it. So then he ran into Shove. Shove was standing there. He ran into Shove. And then he skated so fast past Camry that he was like right next to her, so she was like, get away from me, like stay away from me. And he was like, she pushed me, like blah blah blah. And I was literally I was literally watching it happen. Like, he went right up in her face. Like, he did that. Like,
yeah, because Camry was the one that was like the most on him
with her phone.
Yeah, no, like even in physical, like near him and skating like right next to him, because like Camry's like his level skater, so like talent wise, so she could easily just be like, what's up, like was like mocking him. So I think it just got the most of his fucking toxic masculinity that came out. And the thing was, like, he kept saying, like, well, you're in my city, so I just always skate here. That fool has never skated in Long Beach.
No,
like,
he is not.
He is not a Long Beach skater. He kept trying to say, like, Long Beach is LA. This is LA.
We are different.
I've lived in Long Beach for 18 years. If you ask anyone from Long Beach, where are you from, not a damn person's going to say LA. Not a damn person. We say Long Beach. Like, oh, you're from LA. No, I'm from Long Beach. Long Beach is different. We're a different kind of hood. We're a different kind of nights. Our skate community in Long Beach is not like that weird part of LA where everyone's like, I have to be the perfect dancer. I have to be the best dancer. I do dance-offs. It's a competition. We're cliquey. Everyone skates with everyone out here. Mm-hmm. You can be a skater that falls every 5 steps, and we're still going to skate with you. Because we're not going to care. We're not going to
care.
Yeah, we're just like, we're all skaters. We don't care if you started this morning or you skated 40 years ago. We're going to skate together in peace, and we're going to have a good time, and not a single person's even watching you fall or do good. We don't care how good you are. We don't care how bad you are. We're all here just to skate. And this fool came in here with some weird, toxic, like, energy.
Yeah, I never felt that kind of energy in Long Beach skating before. Yeah. And he was straight, like, the fact of the matter is that he, a person who was blocked on the internet by another person, by a woman who is half his size, maybe a third of his size, he then decided to find out where she was physically, go to her meetup, bring a group of people to back him up. Talk to his wife
and his friend and say, let's pack up the kids, pack up our skates, and go get this girl that blocked me and that I yelled at because she yelled at my friend about a
6 months ago.
Like, and no one said, this is a bad idea. And his wife didn't say a single word the whole time.
And his friend was just, like, recording and laughing.
Yeah, and she was like, this isn't... if you having your cameras on me is aggressive, it's intimidating. Like, your homeboy is intimidating. This is terrifying. And then everyone wants to say, like, it's not that big of a deal. Do you know how fucking scary it is to be a woman? Like, do you know, like, most of us get abused and harassed, like, multiple times in our lives. So to be like, this is an aggressive man, 3 times my size, that talk shit on the internet, and it's easy to, like, block, don't think about. Let that simmer for 6 months. Mind you, she didn't even come for him. It was his friend originally. And then decides, from however he found out she was having an event, probably still stalking her online, says, ooh, she's gonna be a city over? Let me go show up.
Like, what in the toxic masculinity trash is that?
Yeah, but that's so terrifying for a woman. Like, and then you show up, and then you're gonna be like, I didn't do anything, that's not aggressive, that wasn't harassment, and act like, lying like, oh, I always scare her, all this shit. And then your dumbass goes, and on your way home, your little friend's laughing and recording you as you're like, oh, I'm gonna admit, I went because I knew she'd be there. I was trying to start shit because I don't care. I'm about that, blah, blah.
That's literally stalking, dude.
He admitted it.
Literally stalking and harassment.
Once he heard that a lawyer was involved, that they had evidence, then you're going to take down that post. And then you're going to post something about how someone's messaging you from a fake account and you're getting harassed, but take the comments off. Because you're fucking guilty. You know you are. Like, are you serious? And then people are trying to come for fair and like, you're being dramatic. You're faking it. Oh, this isn't what really happened. You were laughing. You didn't really care. You're not a real victim.
If that happened to you, people that were in those comments, you would be fucking terrified. So don't even give me that shit.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. People just want to be like, this is just drama. It's not drama when it's a fucking literal harassment happening. That's literally stalking. She was stalked. It's just not right. And then I get that some people were scared and like stood around the edges of the walls because they were like, oh no, I'm scared. Like, this man's wilding out. But the thing was, he was obviously not being like, he wasn't physical. Like, it was scary, but like, he didn't get physical with anyone. Yeah. But, like, to know that some people went on their stories and was like, oh, if anyone does this at an event I threw, then I'll kick them out, or blah, blah. Or the same people that didn't even, like, say anything to him, didn't ask him to leave, didn't even come to form a wall around Farron.
Physically, which is what you should do, by the way. If you are in that situation, put yourself physically next to the person who's the victim.
Yeah, because there's safety in numbers. You shouldn't just, like, hide. Like, do something. Even if you gotta yell from afar, like, go away.
You gotta do something.
You just don't just accept it and just be like, oh, I'll just watch from afar and be like, oh, there's some drama happening there, I'll stay away. Like, do something. like, you see something, say something. Like, dang, we don't gotta call the cops, obviously.
Don't let the bystander effect get to you.
Yeah. Like we said when we were protesting, like, who owns the streets? We own the streets. We're supposed to protect each other. This is our community. When an aggressor comes, we get him out of there. Mm-hmm. If it has to get physical, it'll get physical. But at the end of the day, you try to talk. You try to de-escalate. If that doesn't work, then yeah, we're going to start cursing you out. That's what happened. He still didn't want to leave. But you know what the damn shame is? His little girls had to see their daddy get yelled at by grown-ass women and little women, being like, and then they had to wonder, what's happening? Why is my dad yelling at a bunch of women? Like, what does that show? What kind of leader are you? What kind of man are you? And it's just like, everything about that was a damn shame. It was an embarrassment. Like, you watch the videos, you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, that is not, we do not condone that behavior within the skate community at all.
Mind you, it was 99% women at that event.
If you are at an event and something like that starts happening or is happening, whether it's the thing that happened to Artemis or the thing that happened to Jenna or what happened to Kayla or anything, like, you have to intervene. It is your responsibility. When you see something happening, you have to get involved. You cannot stand by the sidelines. You cannot let things like that happen. We cannot let things like that happen within our skate community. It is our skate community. As Chev said, we have to protect it. We have to. Even if you're scared, even if you don't know what to do, you have to do something. And that is why I've continued to say over the past few days, if you don't know what to say, then you get up and you physically stand next to the person who is being harassed. Because you can stand there if you don't know what to say and you're scared. You're like, well, guess what? Guess who's probably scared a whole hell of a lot more than I am? The person who's physically being harassed.
Yep. It's crazy because, like, I've been harassed and I'll just, like, ignore it, suck it in. But as soon as I see someone else being harassed, I have to, like, get involved. Like, that's it. Especially if it's someone that's close to me. Like, I will lay hands on someone. I will literally be a human shield. Like, I don't care. But, like, that's just in me. And I feel like more people need to have that. And, you know, this isn't something that always happens. This is a rarity. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. I have only had one person reach out to me that, like, knows this person in real life and is like, I'm going to, like, talk to this person. Like, I need to get through. Like, this is not okay. But I don't know. We'll see. Because, like, there's definitely some people that were following me and that I was following that are friends with him. And I'm like, not about it. And if you want more details, because we don't like to put names out there because people like to sue, then go to Farron's IGTV, learn some more. But people are out here being fake allies, and they're the ones causing drama and not fighting for what's really right.
Yeah.
So get the information, make a choice, but the real meaning of it is not to get wrapped up in the drama, but it is to listen, to learn, and do better and be better. So if you're ever in this situation, you can stop it. And if it's happening to you, don't ask for help, or hopefully people will just help you. But I don't know. It was fucked up. It was good vibes after his dumb ass left.
Yep. All right. Let's move on to Find Your Skate Date.
So, like, because of the tone of this episode, I'm like, it's Find Your Skate Date. Like, it's like, my friend is missing.
No.
Last seen skating.
I know.
On the
I feel like we have to, like, pick up the mood really quick for Find Your Skate Date.
So if everyone's like, that was a lot, or like someone like saw it and got triggered because you can, because it was triggering for some people to watch the videos, let's just take a little break before we enter this happy space. Let's just remember, the skate community is actually full of mostly love. Life is full of love. There are some horrible things out there, but it does not define us. It doesn't happen every day. We're gonna be okay.
And guess what? If you have a skate date with you, then they can stand up for you if something does happen.
And they can go to protests with you to fight for what's right.
Yeah. So on that note, our skate date, which, by the way, if you want your skate date read, if you want to be a skate date, you can send us an email at dearskatedate@gmail.com with your name, your pronouns, your Instagram, and a little bit of bio and a picture, and we will talk about you, and then we will share your picture on our Instagram. So today's skate date is Jordyn.
Jordyn Sparks?
No, not Jordyn Sparks.
Oh.
Jordyn the skater. Jordyn says, "Hi, Shovel. My name is Jordyn. She's Z. But I also go by Hedge." Dope name. "I am 24 years old, and I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I'm currently in Appleton for work. As the weather gets warmer and I am finally fully vaccinated, woohoo! I am looking for a skate date in the area. I got my Moxies in the mail literally 2 weeks ago, so I am looking for someone who is patient and is prepared to watch me fall on my ass all summer, but hopefully I'll look cool doing it. You will. My goals this summer are to get better at street skating and build up enough courage to join roller derby." Yeah!
Yes.
Just do it. Just join roller derby.
They'll teach you everything.
Seriously. Like, they literally they taught me completely how to skate. As a fat, black, and hella tall, no, seriously, I'm 6'1",
Sure.
femme presenting person, I am looking for other people who not only skate for fun, but who are skating towards a more inclusive community of all sizes, genders, and races. My Instagram handle is @over_the_hedge skates. Oh, I love that.
That's cute.
P.S. The two of you are the reason I decided to take up skating after so many people told me I couldn't do it for XYZ reasons.
Aww.
Thank you for creating multiple avenues for people to learn about the skate community. Your work doesn't go unnoticed.
My heart. Big
Jordyn, I wish you lived in Long Beach, California, so that you could be our skate date.
Long Beach, California?
Yeah.
So extra all the time.
So if you are Jordyn's skate date, hit up Jordyn at @over_the_hedge skates, and I'm sure that she will love to meet you and skate with you. Yeah.
So cute.
So cute. All right. Moving on to Dear Shovel.
I like this because I haven't read it yet. But Dear Shovel is a place.
Where you send us your questions and then we answer them.
To the best of our abilities.
Yes, and we just, we don't plan this ahead of time. We literally we read your question and then we're just like, all right, here's the answer, and we spitball it.
I know. You've read this one though, right? Because you got it?
Yeah, I read it.
I haven't read it yet, so...
But I don't remember because I set it up a couple days ago.
And you have the worst memory in all the lands.
That's
okay, let's jump on in.
If you have a Dear Shovel question, by the way, you can email us at dearskatedate@gmail.com with your question.
Part 2, let's jump in. Can I jump in now?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Dear Shovel. I think, like most people, this last year has been a deep self-reflection. And it has taken me this time alone to realize that I'm definitely not straight.
Yeah! It's spicy. You
and the podcast audience are the first people I've come out to.
Oh
so
my
yay.
god! That was a celebration.
Any advice for a fetus queer, not even a baby queer? We're still incubating in the quarantine bubble until more people get vaccinated, LOL. And then it's off to the gay bars. Not kidding. That's not on there.
But it should be.
I see so many TikToks of queer people saying they don't have the patience to teach/be involved with baby gays. Ew, fucking TikTok, man.
Get out of there.
Or still semi-closeted gays. And as a person who's out of college but also doesn't have their bearings in a social life post-college, I am struggling finding people in the community to connect with. Help. P.S. Your content both together and individually is so heartwarming, and I hope you both know that your impacts on communities are so vast and so integral. Y'all rock.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so dear fetus gay, anyone who tells you that they don't have time for you, you don't want to learn from them anyways. You don't want to be like them. That's not the kind of queer you want to be. You want to be an inclusive queer who loves other people.
Talk about, like, arrogant
What the
queers
hell?
that are
That's
like, I don't remember
such
what it's like.
bullshit.
I was just born and I was like, I'm good.
No, you were not. You learned from someone. Like, someone took you in and someone took care of you and explained things to you. I highly recommend watching The L Word, even though it's
God.
so problematic. But, like, it is a little part of the indoctrination.
Or what's worse, the real L Word.
Even worse, the real L Word. Honestly, okay, being a baby gay is actually really fun. Like, being a little fetus gay, it's a whole new world. It's like when you first learn how to drive, and you're like, everything is exciting and everything is new and you're seeing yourself in other places. I remember when I first discovered that I was gay, I spent like hours on YouTube watching like queer creators and being like, oh my God, I think I relate to that. Oh my God, I relate to that too. Oh my God. And like just connecting the dots for myself. And I feel like that was such an important part of like becoming who I am today and like understanding. You know
Here's
what I mean?
what's going to happen. You're going to get a bad haircut. Because that's what happens.
You're going to just make like some bad like, style decisions.
Which year of Tegan and Sarah haircut do I want is going to happen. All of a sudden you're going to have a bunch of rainbow crap and it's all going to be tacky. Nothing rainbow is ever not tacky.
No, I have one rainbow outfit that's actually not tacky. The ModCloth one. It's not tacky.
Yeah. And then, you're gonna spend your whole life wondering, is she, wait, did we have pronouns? We don't have pronouns, so I'll just say they. So you're gonna be spending your whole life going, are they gay? Are they gay? Are they gay? And then you're going to go to your first place. It's like a gay bar, gay club, or gay event, gathering place of the gays. Because everybody knows there's a certain place where you're like, whether it's a coffee shop or something, you're like, this is where the gay people hang out. Mm-hmm. And you're probably not going to know how to flirt, but don't feel bad because even that senior gay won't know how to flirt. So you'll be pretty good.
You're going to end up hooking up with someone. They're not going to be the ones that work out, but you're going to be like low-key in love with them.
Yeah, I was
going to
say,
first
you're
person.
Obsessed.
They're the first person that you like had a thing with, but they're not going to be the one that's like for you forever. They're going to be the one that introduces you to their group of friends. And then all of a sudden you will have access to the gays. And then you will find the many that are your meant to be's.
Yeah. It's just extra hard right now because it's a quarantine and you can't go to any like where your people are. You can't go to places.
Yeah, it's
and
hard.
You will like notice like there will be times you'll be out at these places and as soon as someone knows that you're like still in the closet or like still coming out and realizing that might just brush you aside and it might hurt, but just know at least you've been prepared by the horrible people of TikTok and the internet. And just know it's okay because there are good people in the world. There are someone that's going to take you under their arm. It's going to be like an old lesbian or an old gay man. And they're going to be like, teach you all the ways of life.
I'll be honest. If for me, it was old gay men. And if they're listening, I'm not calling you old.
They would be so mad.
They would be so mad. They are not listening, though, because they don't understand social media. I love them. They're my gay dads, but they don't understand social media. So every time they're like, yeah, anyways, that was a random talk.
Okay, so another important thing is you don't have to come out.
You don't.
Do not have to come out. You just start living your life and then you just start dating people and you don't have to make an announcement. It's not a Facebook post. It's not an Instagram post. It can be if you feel like this is what I need to like be like, it's done. I have closure on the straight life now. But like other than that, don't feel that pressure of having to come out. Just live your life, love who you want to, sleep with who you want to, make out with who you want to. And then when people start going, wait, I didn't know you were gay, just be like, yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a big deal. When you make it a big deal, it is scary. But some people want it to be a big deal because coming out can be really empowering for them. So I totally get that.
Like, I didn't even come out. I didn't come out to, like, most of my friends. Like, most of my friends in my whole life. Like, I didn't ever come out to them. Like, the only people I had to come out to was my freaking family. Yeah. So, I don't know what the situation there is for you. But I spent a lot of time looking at women's fingernails. When I was a baby queer. A lot of time trying to figure out if someone was gay based off of their fingernails. Yep. But I didn't realize that toys were such a big thing and that fingernails could not be a true telling factor. So that's not really the best advice anymore. That was the advice someone gave to me, was just look at people's fingernails. That's how you know.
You know what I was told in high school? Flagging. Which I don't even know if gay people do anymore.
The different bandanas?
The bandanas, yeah. Like, do people
I don't think people do that anymore.
And they were like, yeah, you could totally blah, blah, blah. And I was like, is it just gay men? And they were like, no, lesbians do it too. And I was like,
I don't think people do that anymore. But yeah, I definitely know about that, though.
Yeah. What else is cool is that you'll notice, like, when you're out and proud, that, like, when you're no longer a fetus and you're just a baby, that the fetus gays will be like, oh, you're queer, and then they'll want to make out with you.
Yeah, it's cute.
Can I just tell you a really funny story real quick that I never told you?
Yeah.
So when you said, like, oh yeah, when you're, like, a baby gay, you'll, like, hook up with someone and they'll become obsessed with you. In high school, there was this girl that was a freshman when I was a senior, and she was kind of, like, low-key obsessed with me, but then it became high-key obsessed with me. And, like, you remember slam books? Like, when you would write it? So, like, we were idiots. We'd put our address in them and stuff and phone numbers, but whatever. That, like, years later, apparently, she still had my address from that book. But, she would, like, follow me around. I'd catch her staring at me all the time. And then it came out, like, after I got a girlfriend, then all of a sudden, I guess she came out. She would start, like, listening to what I listened to, wear what I would wear, and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but okay. But she would ask me, like, life advice about, like, issues with her mom, and we both had eating disorders, and, like, all this stuff. And then, like, I remember my friend got into, like, a fight, like, a physical fight with her, and I was like, I can't get involved, I'm 18, like, this is your children, like, even though we're, like, all in school together. But anyways, like, after I graduated, I get a letter, like, a card in the mail from her, and it's like...
Oh, yeah, to the woman I've loved before.
Yes, it's a graduation card, and she's like, you know, I was always in love with you, and I'll never forget that night at the talent show when your friend, like, beat me up, and then the fact that you didn't jump in broke my heart, because I always loved you, and I just wish we could have had a chance, and well,
Did you make out with her ever?
No.
Whoa.
No. She was just, like, infatuated with me. And I was just like...
The magical power of shove, everyone.
And then I ran into her at, like, a concert one time, and I was like, this is so awkward. But she looked at me with the same, like, I love you eyes. And I was like, okay, girl, it's been, like, 5 years. Like...
Oh, my God. That's so crazy.
What can I say? I have it like that.
Meanwhile, I was over here just, like, crushing on my teachers and shit. Being like, oh, what's your favorite perfume? I'm gonna get that perfume and wear it all the time.
But, oh my gosh. But welcome to the queer community.
I wish I had something to give to you.
We drink too much.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Yeah, and we dye our hair a lot, so...
I hope you'll like Pride.
Get on it.
We like blue hair because we're liberals. I hope Jesse still listens to the podcast.
Oh my God, I hope so too. What's up, James?
I know that probably didn't help you at all, but moral of the story...
You like us, right? You could be like us. You are like us.
Strive to be us when you grow up.
Family, that's what we are. Welcome to the family. Yeah. So nobody gave us 5 stars last week.
Because we suck. No one fucking cares about us.
So if you want to give us 5 stars, we would really like that. We could talk about you. We'll promise to say nice things. We won't stunt on you.
No.
We'll be nice. But 5 stars is on Apple Podcasts. So if you go to Apple Podcasts and then you find Skate Date and then you like rate us 5 stars and then you write a little note.
You could probably heart us on Spotify, though. Like, you know, if you, like something or, like, favorite it.
Yeah, but I don't know that we know how to find out if
Who cares? I just want people to like us.
Yeah, just show us you love us in some way, shape, or form.
Also found out that YouTube doesn't really care that much about cursing, so now I feel like I could be my true self and curse again like I used to in the beginning. And then I got tired of editing the podcast and censoring every single curse word. And now I can be like, God damn, that shit sucked.
Yeah. I don't know to what extent, but we're also not monetized on YouTube yet, so I don't know.
So fuckity fuck.
We're actually pretty close. We're like 1,000 watch hours away and like 460 subscribers away, which isn't that bad.
I don't know. Rebel's also over here, like, getting hella famous on YouTube.
I am not hella famous
How
on
many
YouTube.
subscribers do you have now?
74,000.
That's so close to 75K. And I feel like once you hit 75K, you're like, I'm about to be at 100K. And what does that mean? A silver play button.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm just gonna, like, take it and hide it all over the place.
What?
I'm gonna, like, scratch my name onto it.
What? Oh my god.
It's gonna be like Queer Girl Straight Skate, so I'm gonna be like, and Shove.
Shove is over here, like, really speaking stuff into existence, so.
It's gonna happen, Dave. I'm manifesting it for you.
I appreciate that.
I'm also manifesting that we'll go on another date with y'all.
Yeah, so come back next Wednesday.
Hump day!